Henry getting clear though. It's Thierry Henry!
It's the boss. But here's Messi. Away from 2, 3, 4. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. How good is he? It's Ronaldo.
Oh, he's done it! He has only gone and done it! Cristiano Ronaldo! And Gerrard! Oh, you beauty! Balotelli! Aguero!
This is the football heritage.
Hello, welcome to El Rondo. This is episode, I want to say this will be episode, you'll see the number whenever I release the episode, but yeah, no, like I've lost track, to be fair.
Said you already know what it is.
Yeah, so today we'll be talking about football fashion, and it's not like what you think in terms of like, oh, you probably think of like players like Hector Bellerin or what is it, DCL, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, or the type of players who are like into high fashion, modeling, etc. Well, we're talking more like the mixture of football culture with kind of high fashion in that sense. So like you see like collaborations, the designs of football kits, that kind of stuff. And to be honest, if you asked me maybe 2 years ago about this particular topic, I'll probably have like a much different view on it. So I think the best place we would start off would be like where this kind of whole trend or fashion with football shirts kind of started. Some people probably have a different. So like for me, it kind of started when I think it was around when Drake dropped Views. He took that picture of him wearing that pink Juventus top, and that's when I started, or you could say you started like football shirts being worn mainstream. You see them at festivals, raves, etc. Before that, it was kind of like you'd have to be going to a football match to be wearing a football shirt, or people.
I disagree straight away from what you're saying.
How so?
Yeah.
Because even before then, even before like Drake rocked that picture, you saw that picture. You saw people wearing football shirts in music videos. For example, the Thiago Silva music video.
It's the song's called Thiago Silva.
Nah, but bro, they were wearing it to look cool. And okay, and there was also to be honest, most of the songs that I can think of are football related.
Exactly.
But I know that I saw it in rap, in like general rap videos as well.
Yeah.
Around what time though?
When was Views? When
Views
was that?
That was 2016.
Views was 2016.
Yeah, 2016.
Okay, so Reg 32 Avellino Hulk Hogan was December 2015, and they were rocking Arsenal shirts.
Yeah.
In music videos.
I remember.
Okay.
I remember that Matuidi Charo song, big song in France as well. They were all wearing like PSG shirts.
It's called Matuidi Charo. Would you,
bro?
They're not gonna wear
football influence that culture. Do you get me?
Yeah, no,
it made it cool to be wearing it. Like if you know the French rapper as well, I think it was more of a thing in France that had MHD. Yeah. He had like the Champions League freestyle and stuff. Yeah. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about.
I think I might do. I might have heard like one of them. But
he's the guy that did La Puissance.
When did Jordan start their PSG collab?
2017, I want to say. 2018, 2017. 2018, yeah, 2018 is when it started, I think. Okay, so like I agree with what you're saying, yeah, but my kind of thing is like when it became like very mainstream. It wasn't as mainstream as it was now, as it was before Drake wore the is what you mean?
Yeah, because he's bait. But I think like before, in like it wasn't. I'm talking about people did it before it was mainstream. Obviously, do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then like people took it and made it cool in a way. Then other people started copying it. But people were doing that from before, is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, it definitely became mainstream probably around after that time a bit.
Can I add something?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you go first.
I was just gonna say that I think I agree with Micael. There's been around for a while, but I think the idea of wearing a current or like a most recent football kit, I think that's a lot newer than, for example, wearing vintage kits, because people have been wearing vintage kits since for time, and I think it's because it's not part of, it's not part of my culture, to be wearing, like a baggy England, I don't know, old vintage top that I don't really necessarily, see it that much, but it's been there for ages. I think football, because it's embedded within society for so long, it's always been there in terms of like fashion. Like it's just been. Do you get me? If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I don't think we can say it's recent because I think it's as long as football's been a mainstream thing in society. Do you get me? Like in the States, how long have they been wearing like the basketball jerseys for time? It's because it's embedded in society.
Yeah, okay, I see what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. Now it's people really biting the drip. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like some of the most iconic like shirts I've seen worn outside of football would be just Palermo's kit in general, the pink one. I've seen that being worn.
Come on.
Yeah, you know Micael, man. And England's 06 kit. I think it was 2006. I remember. Obviously, it was around the World Cup, so people were just wearing that in general. But I think that kind of ties into it. Like when big events happen, you get people like wearing their like nation's football shirts wherever.
Yeah. But I kind of agree with Sub in a way about that Drake thing, because I remember then going to clubs afterwards and you see like two guys wearing the same Juventus top or whatever. It just that Juventus top became so popular.
Now Amir has one.
So I kind of get where you're coming from. Yeah.
I think it only works with like certain teams as well. I think that's probably going into my next topic. I think there's certain teams where the manufacturers, like the likes of Nike, Adidas, they've now seen and used those teams as kind of like, I don't know what the right word is, but like kind of fashion. I don't know, is it fashion?
I get you. I get you.
Like,
Droopy.
Yeah, like so, like just marketing kind of tools. So
obviously, the PSG one became massive with Jordan.
Not even
Juventus
before Jordan,
did the Palace thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, even before. Yeah, you're right. Even before Jordan, there are people wearing PSG shirts. I can't lie. They've always been cold though.
True, but as in like when they're designing them, they're also thinking, "Oh, how would this look outside of football as well as in the game?"
Yeah,
100%. I think that's been more recent though. Yeah,
right.
because if you look at these, like for example, the Palace and Juventus shirt, that was mad. That even sold out so quickly. And the recent Arsenal kits as well look so nice. I've been saying that Arsenal are getting preference from Adidas. Because what Adidas are giving to Arsenal and giving to Man U, bro, like it doesn't even compare, man.
That's what I'm saying. Like, do you know the thing is, like, we'll touch about like collabs later, yeah, but that's another thing. Like, when you say Zaid was right when they said like football kits are more, I think a lot of them are designed more to look good outside of football than they are actually on the pitch. So like you said, like the Arsenal one, you've seen PSG, and another one is the Nigeria kit that came out, I think, before the World Cup or before the World Cup, which like everything sold out, the whole collection. Like you'd see people who aren't even Nigerian wearing it, etc. Like I remember it was one time, it was like, I think it was either Hey You or FND, yeah. But there's this white guy wearing a Nigeria top, and I just saw people like just crowding around him, just getting onto him, saying, "Why are you wearing this top? Blah blah blah. You're not Nigerian, etc." It was a bit mad.
Bro, our own friend Dima has a Nigeria top, but that is, I feel like if the shirt is cool, people have always been like I've always like gonna buy it. Do you get me?
Yeah. At the same time, I'm also like a tribalistic football fan. Yeah, so like the idea of people just wearing my team's shirt with no kind of like heritage to it, kind of, I don't know, I feel a bit away about it. I don't know why. So like when I see people wearing like the bruised banana, but they have no like connection to us, I'm just thinking, do you know what that shirt represents to me? Blah blah blah. Why are you wearing it like etc. Like it's a bit weird, but like
yeah. No, I
got
agree.
a question for you, Sam.
Yeah.
So if you're thinking like that, then if you feel that particular way towards someone who's wearing it, what about to like the team that they've designed that new kit or whatever with the sole purpose they know they're gonna sell outside their fan base? Do you get me?
Yeah. I guess
so,
sorry to cut you off.
No, that's I've pretty much finished now.
I guess like that can be the point, yeah, but at the same time I don't like it in a sense, like you know what I mean?
Yeah,
with me, I don't get it in terms of countries. Do you get me? So like, yeah, I like Nigeria's kit. I'm not gonna buy it. But if it's a team that doesn't have a connection to the team I support, then I'll buy that happily. Do you get me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But oh yeah, going back to the previous point about some clubs are definitely like being marketed as these drippy clubs or whatever.
Yeah.
I think that is definitely true, but I think the brands are picking out these clubs which have like a foundation in culture. Like, say for example, Arsenal's fan base. Arsenal has like a very artistic fan base.
I'm
Like
not sure
so
about
many.
that.
I feel like no, it's so many rappers. You see, like yeah, just people like influencing the culture, support Arsenal. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
I think with Arsenal, there's the heritage in North London, but at the same time, I think because it was never really like this until Adidas came back to us, and the iconic Arsenal kit that they kind of like marketed in such a way was the Bruised Banana kit that we wore in like the early '90s. I personally never liked the kit as well, but like it's just very iconic within Arsenal history, etc. So now they've taken that, and now they've kind of like I see them doing this as a common theme every season with an Arsenal kit. So like they've done it this season with the home kit, etc. They kind of like zigzaggy thing that we used to have in the early '90s as well. So maybe they've seen like a spot in the market for like a London club or whatever, or a team in England, for example, and then they're gonna run with it for like the next few years.
With me, I think it's definitely to do with the culture because even if you look at like, for example, what Nike are doing with PSG is in that like that French modern is embedded in that French modern culture thing. That's like I don't know the club which most of like the cool people. Do you get me coming up support?
I know. I think
They see that as in I can make this cool. I'm not. I'm when I say most, I'm generalizing.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. I don't know if you get what I'm saying.
No, I get what you mean. Like, yeah, Paris, biggest club in Paris Saint-Germain, the biggest club in Paris is actually like there's a lot of like French rappers associated with supporting PSG, as well as the fact it's like Paris. Paris is like there's a very romantic kind of fusion between fashion in Paris and then bringing it to
The
football
same
as well.
can be
It just
said
seems
for Arsenal
it just
in
sits
London.
well.
Do you get me?
Yeah, I get what you mean. I get what you mean. Like with graffiti, etc. In
Because London is still like a fashion capital.
Yeah, I guess what you mean. Yeah, I see what you mean. In that sense.
Yeah.
I'd say London's a
like-
fashion capital, but not Arsenal.
Yeah.
But, because, yeah. Obviously, how can a city, how can a club be a fashion capital? What?
No, as in like you say PSG in Paris, yeah. When you know, like Paris is like the biggest club in Paris, etc. Obviously, if you go to London, just like off the top of your hand, just name the teams in London. Do you get me?
Okay, so I mean, I guess those are different teams.
I mean, Arsenal's the drippiest out of them all.
100%.
Yeah.
Then the kit or the fan base?
Both.
Literally both. I mean, for Chelsea, I can't think off the top of my head, but talking like supporting the culture, I know for Spurs, you got AJ Tracy. Anyone else?
Adele.
Yeah, okay. Spurs. What about Heady One? I don't know, man. I'm guessing.
Heady One
He supports Man U.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What's
Heady
my
One,
name?
you know.
Mad. Yeah, smart guy.
I think RV supports Spurs though. So.
I mean, I know he mentioned Spurs, but
No, I know because his twin name's like RV Pochettino, so I just presume that he supports Spurs, but maybe I'm wrong.
I thought I was just managing Tottenham kind of thing.
yeah.
Fair.
Oh, man.
That's what I thought it was.
Jeez, the wordplay. Ah.
Come on, bro. You know, Breezy's North like that.
He knows, bro. Come on.
So speaking of like Paris, so we've touched upon it before with Palace and Jordan. What are your views on like these kind of collaborations between like football kits or football brands and like maybe high street fashion or other kind of fashion brands, etc. So I'll go first anyway. I'll say my kind of opinion on it is like it depends really. So like I don't mind mixing sports brands with sports. So like Nike with Jordan, that's quite internal. Jordan's pretty much part of Nike. I don't mind you're mixing sport with sport, etc.
I feel like that's a bit weird. The whole Jordan thing with football.
I don't know because it's like bringing two worlds together within the same kind of domain of sport. You know what I mean? You can have the same appreciation, similar appreciation between both sets of fans of basketball and football, in a sense.
I mean, it's just money at the end of the day as well.
Yeah,
like, that's what they're doing it for.
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously.
And then the ones I kind of have an issue with is more like the high end or the high end fashion brands or high end kind of personas mixing with football. So we saw it recently with the Pharrell human race stuff with Adidas and some of the teams there, and then a few years ago with Virgil. I can't even say his, I always mispronounce his surname. Is it
Virgil Abloh.
Abloh? Yeah, Abloh. I always say
Oh,
Oblak,
his
Oblak.
off-white thing.
He's off white with like Nike, that kind of one-off thing.
Yeah, the orange looking ones. Yeah.
Yeah, and he had like the kind of checkered tops and etc. So
Yeah,
my kind of issue with that kind of stuff is like, I feel it's the meaning behind it. Maybe it's like same thing with like the Jordan Nike, but it still seems more kind of culture vultures and like they're just trying to get money out of a certain kind of, popular trend, etc. So what are you guys see?
With me, I'm all for like when actual sports brands do it. Even though I find the Jordan one a bit weird, I get it.
Yeah.
But I don't like that thing of I didn't like the Off-White collab with Nike, just the way in which it looked, but also like the meaning behind it.
Yeah.
I don't understand why as well, like even bigger brands like you see Versace, LV doing football shirts, I don't rate it. If it's a smaller brand like a Trap Star or Daily Paper, then yeah, but I don't know why, but I don't rate it when the massive like high fashion brands do it.
Have you seen Virgil Abloh kick off football before?
No.
Exactly. So like that's my kind of thing of it. Like these people, do they really care about football, or they're trying to just get money out of the culture?
Yeah, culture vulture.
And then exactly when they sell these kind of, well, this is just my opinion anyway. It's like a lot of the time, because they are such high end fashion brands, they're now coming to these lower, what I would say, not say lower, but like brands like Nike and Adidas, which are more affordable. Now them kind of mixing with them makes it even more expensive, and it kind of like prices out a regular football fan.
Yeah, let's be real. These football shirts are way too expensive, man.
They look nice, to be fair. A lot of them, like,
isn't Arsenal's like £100 just for this standard shirt?
Yeah, to be like there's the actual home one, which is 100, and then there's the replica, which is like 70, I think, on the Adidas website. But like if you put actually, to be fair, the human race one with Pharrell was actually still quite affordable in the sense that it's still around the same price of the ones that you normally get in a shop, but it's much harder to get, I guess.
But even then, these official ones, the prices are madness. Do you know, like with me, I just buy replica kits because I like having a lot of shirts, and the official ones are just so expensive. It's like 100 for a t-shirt basically.
No, but like, to be fair, I don't know, maybe just because of me, it's me. Like, I get why they cost so much, but at the same time they shouldn't. But there is two alternatives anyway.
But you know that the markup they're making is high. You know those materials, that process does not cost anywhere near that.
Yeah.
That's in general.
Yeah. I think you have to genuinely just look at it from their point of view, because obviously we'll talk about it like from the football fans kind of point of view. Do you get me?
Yeah.
And we can. It seems like they're coming in. They're seeing this great culture, and they're trying to mimic it to fit their high markups and their society. But then if you look at it from their point of view, what's the whole point of fashion? Do you get me? Like the whole point is the whole idea is to I'd say it's to create art in it. Like for them, they make a piece or whatever, and then they say the meaning behind this is inspired by this. This is inspired by that. Do you get me?
Okay.
I don't think, especially like the pick off randomly Virgil Abloh making the design and boots in it.
Yeah.
Which I think obviously no one who buys them is going to then go, yeah, this is my my Sunday league boots. Do you get me?
Yeah.
This is I think it's all become art. Like it's all a very, very high life kind of thinking. Like you have to be a baller to you buy this and you go, this is this guy's interpretation of the football society, even though he might not be part of it. Yeah, which I can understand. You know, you could get annoyed and be like, he doesn't even understand football. He's not. Do you get me? He's not part of whatever. But then again, I think it's an artist's job to be able to read something or look at something and then display his interpretation of it, just like any good book or something like that. Do you get me?
Yeah, okay. To be fair, I never really thought of it.
I see that. I see that. Okay.
Yeah.
I can understand this from you explaining it, but did you see like what about Virgil's off-white football collab, yeah? It all is actually like a good standard. Do you get what I'm saying? Like the shirts are light, the boots are just normal boots with what's it called? With like the graphic like that. But what would you say about, say, for example, a Balenciaga that makes like football shirts, football boots that are just dead? Have you seen the Balenciaga's football boots?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How much are they? They're like 300, 500 pounds?
I wouldn't be surprised if they're more.
Yeah.
I mean,
Bruh,
I think
those look like Slazingers, man.
No, you know what they look like? You know when you're on FIFA, yeah, and you're creating your pro, yeah, and you haven't unlocked all the other boots, and all you have is just like the plain EA Sports boots. That's what they look like.
Bro, if those had like a random logo on it, yeah, no one would care, man. I'm telling you.
That's fashion in general. Like you put a logo on something and it suddenly it's like 10 times as expensive.
Market,
okay.
Bro, you're making me think of when people put the logo, yeah? Like they had like a PSG shirt, yeah? And then they wrote Balmain on it. And that became a trend, man. I didn't rate that one, I can't lie. I thought it looked nice at first, but then I was like, this is dumb.
To be fair, they do look nice. I'm not gonna cap, but I don't know. It's just like, because when you do buy like that, you're doing it for the sense of fashion, etc. You're not gonna play football in it. Do you get what I mean?
Not gonna lie, I got something to say about the Balenciaga thing.
Okay.
The whole kit and like, they put a logo on it. And personally, I'm just gonna say, the boots themselves, they are very like, what do you call it? Stereotypical, like old-fashioned leather kind of football boots.
Yeah.
And then the kit that came out with it was a very like vintage kind of look, like the baggy football kits that they used to wear, not like the new. I think that's what I think the idea was all about. And again, we can like talk about look at the price, like what's the point, like why? What?
Bro, like when people make leather boots, yeah, people make leather boots now. Do you get me?
Yeah, but you know what I mean when I say
quality,
the look of it.
They made dead leather boots. I'm not sure if it's even leather.
No, it has to be leather. I would presume
it has to be leather.
I presume it's leather.
Are you sure, bro? I saw some review on it. I think the guy said it said either it's not leather or it's the deadest leather you can get.
It might be the quality of leather, because football boots, they usually use kangaroo leather typically, or Taurus leather, which is cow leather.
Yeah.
But I don't particularly know what they use for the Balenciaga one, etc.
But bro, who's buying Balenciaga boots to then go onto a pitch? Like, it's definitely just.
I'm pretty sure.
Piece.
I'm pretty sure someone has.
That is why I have a problem with it.
No, to be fair, wasn't the same Maxim who was wearing a Gucci headband in Ligue 1 to play
That's
football?
different, man. That's a headband.
No,
that's drippy, bro. That's what he's on.
Bro, he still does it. For some reason, he covers the Gucci with like some tape. I don't know why.
It's against Premier League regulation, I think. You can't actually do it. So, I think that's been like
publicly displaying another brand's name.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Can I comment on the original question real quick?
Yeah.
You're going on about commenting on kind of fashion brands in football. I was going to say, I don't mind it if it's one-off and it's away from football. So I don't mind if LV or Virgil does like a collab and sells it. But I don't like the kind of Jordan Nike kits kind of, because like for me, football, it started as the working classes game. And not like we're getting away from that now. But kind of these things become less and less affordable. You're pricing out the kind of core fan base. And like we said, kind of, I still think it's ridiculous that we're paying £100 for home kits and people aren't really batting an eye. They're just accepting it that the price will rise. So I don't know.
Yeah, bro.
Can't you say that about most things in
true. Yeah, you can, but it's just I still think that we should be able to like kind of complain about this kind of stuff, even though most things prices are rising. We should be complaining about that as well.
Yeah. Just to give us another
Yeah,
story, I feel like football itself, or the footballing brands like Nike, Adidas, etc., they've taken on some kind of traits that you would see in fast fashion in terms of when they selling, making kits. Yeah, there was a time where I'm pretty sure teams used to have kits for like 2 seasons, and then your away kit would become like your third kit or something like that. Now every single season it's a new kit for every home, away, third. Even sometimes you're getting 4th and 5th kits, special edition kits as well.
Bro, you get so many training kits as well. You get the warm-up kit. You get a summer training kit, like a winter training kit. There's so many collections.
Probably sell the training bibs.
It's
Watch, they'll start doing it. They'll do like fashion weeks, but just football kits.
But you know, I can't. Yeah, going back to the point, I like it when like PSG is doing like collaborations with Bape and stuff. I think that's sick.
I didn't like that.
It should. I think it should be left as like a one-off thing. Do you get me?
Mm-hmm.
Or like as in, yeah.
So
okay, but what do you gain? What do you gain from like if you wear a PSG, like okay, the Jordan PSG ones, yeah, you're wearing it compared to wearing normal Jordans. You're wearing Jordans because you're like, yeah, these are Jordans. But then now you're wearing PSG Jordans. You're like, yeah, I got PSG on my Jordans. Like, what's the significance to you?
For me, there is no significance. Do you get me? Okay, like, I'm not a person that will look at just a Jordan logo and think that looks cool. For me, it might as well have Nike written on there because it's obviously the same thing. Do you get me? I just don't get the point of it. Like, if it was, like, I like PSG kids because their design is sick. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not because they're associated with this brand and then they're just gonna charge higher for it or whatever.
I think the fact that I think the fact that they've done the whole Jordan thing, they don't need to. Like, if it was just Nike there, like you said, I think it would sell normally. Well, the fact that they've put Jordan,
bro, they sold kits out. PSG sold kits out.
Yeah, that's what I'm
saying. Jordan.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, the fact is because it's Jordan. Jordans are like the most sought out trainer they are next to Yeezys, isn't it? So the fact that they've put this logo next to football, in a sense, it's now made it more, I don't know, attractive,
desirable.
To people. Yeah, desirable.
I don't think it's affected the UK or like Europe or whatever, because I think personally for me, the PSG kit with like a Nike tick, a Nike swoosh, I'd rather buy that than it with the Jordan logo. I think the Jordan logo was more. I think the Jordan logo, was more of the US being, probably the biggest source of customers. They've done the collab. Now the US can get involved in all this hype stuff. Do you get me?
Okay. Yeah.
So that's just more money.
Yeah, I hear you.
Because Jordan's a bigger thing in the States, not here. Well,
you know what? It actually makes sense because nowadays, like, I don't know if it's just me, but when you see the players of these, the pictures of these NBA players going to games and stuff, you catch so many like wearing this PSG Jordan thing.
I know LeBron has a club with like Mbappe. I think I've seen him.
They did boots together.
Yeah. To be fair, I think LeBron has shares in Liverpool, so he is quite interested in football in a sense. So.
Yeah.
So, but Jordan himself, I've only seen him with 2 footballers. I've seen him take pictures with Ronaldinho, and I know he's had a collab with Neymar, and that's about it. So he himself, I'm not sure how interested he is in football.
Respect, man, respect.